Spending are recognized, of reined-in spending are recognized and adhered to. Because, folks, if we don't do it now, as Ronald Reagan said, we're the last best hope. He also told about the Cuban refugee who was talking to a couple fellows on the streets of Miami. And he was telling this story about how he had escaped from Castro's Cuba. And the two fellows looked at each other and said, "Boy, we don't know how lucky we have it." And the Cuban looked at him and said, "How lucky you have it. You had someplace, I had someplace to escape to." And there in that statement, he told the whole story. If we lose here, there's no place left to go. This is the last best hope on earth. So, folks, with your help, we're going to win. And again, Todd, thank you for all you've done and continue to do.
Thanks, Ben. Of the 5 members of the board that I gave you phone numbers for, we really need to put pressure on Carson Tucker, who represents the 5th District. He ran as a Republican. He put the motion on the floor to appoint Marcel Bustos, the chairman of the Democrat Party of Powhatan, to that seat. We need to call him and call him often. The vote is Monday, and we have no time to spare. I'd like to introduce our last speaker to the event. I came to know Gilbert last year when I was helping out with Restore the Founders Vision Barbecue. The evening of the state convention, we had over 800 people show up. Now Gilbert is on the board of the Richmond Tea Party. He's worked tirelessly to put together the rally that they're going to have on the 15th. I'm sure he's going to speak about it. So give a warm welcome to Mr. Gilbert Wilkinson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Todd, for inviting us to come to the beautiful county of Powhatan, Virginia. I'm going to use this podium a little bit to speak to you. I am not as eloquent on my speech as some of these speakers were, so I use my speech that I brought with me. I want to thank Todd for inviting us. One of my heroes here today, Patrick McSweeney, who always teaches me, takes time enough to teach me about the Constitution. Also have about 4 of our board members here. If you could raise your hand, there's Phil, there's Joe, Susan there and there. And I love their support. The Richmond board is a unified, inclusive board. And we're having a great time in Richmond. And we're pushing down walls and making a change. Believe it or not, you'd think I'd go to a lot of African-American people to speak, but the most invitations I get are white, asking me how can they win African-Americans into the movement, Tea Party movement, which is important. It's important because you got to realize that without the African-American community, you're going to be bombarded by the liberal media and the Democrats. So it's important that we get African Americans into the Tea Party movement, and because they don't understand what's going on, sometimes with America, they're losing. Because if you, I don't think you know it or not, but they're the ones that's going to hurt most under these changes. But I am so glad to be here today to speak to you. I hope you can hear me. Move some preliminaries out of the way. Like I said, I'm glad to be here, and I'll bring you greetings from the Richmond Tea Party. You know, besides being called an Uncle Tom, other derogatory names by my own community, I chose to be a Tea Party member on my own.
Glad to have you.
Nobody forced me. No one forced me to be here involved in this movement. No one paid me. I'm here of my own choice. I probably have more risk to lose than any of you here. I have very few in my community who will even begin to talk to me regarding the Tea Party. But you know what? That doesn't bother me. What does bother me is what's going on in Washington, D.C. today. A cancerous-like sore. A cancerous-like sore. I'm losing my place. Can you believe that? A cancerous-like sore is taking place in Washington, and if something is not done about it, it's going to infect the entire nation. Black people, young people, old people, white people, everybody. Nobody's excluded from this. I joined the Tea Party because I got tired of standing on the sidelines doing nothing. I joined the Tea Party because I believe the Tea Party has the vision to bring America back to this rightful place in this nation. I am here not because I'm black. I am here because I'm an American citizen. Believe it or not, if America falls, so does my black skin. What's happening in America today should not be based on whether you're black or white. Should be based on whether we as a nation is going to survive in the future. Are we going to be here 20 years from now like we have always been, taking in the poor and the hopeless on our shores? Or are we going to be a socialist nation? Will there be anything left for people to come here to? That's just for us to decide here today. Are we going to take back our country? Yes. Are we going to be men and women of courage? Are we going to stand up for what is right?
Yes.
That's what it's come down to. It's not a black and white issue. This is a wrong and a right issue. What's happening in Washington, D.C. is a travesty of justice for all people, and we have all people, and if we allow the liberal politicians in Washington to divide us, then our journey will be a long one. They know the principle of if you divide. Together we stand, divided we fall. As an African American, I see my freedom in jeopardy. And this scares me. Let me tell you why. Because I know what it's like to have your rights taken away. I know what it's like when the government tells you you don't count. I know what it's like to have your dreams dashed, your spirits broken, and your hope deferred. I know what it's like to be denied. Hold that thought for a minute, because if you stand still, lay down, stand on the sidelines and do nothing, your rights will slowly disappear into the fog of the Washington backroom politics. Those in Washington would take such drastic measures to dishonor our Constitution. I wonder what those soldiers that have died on the beaches of Normandy, Japan, Iwo Jima, and other battlefields across the world, what would they say about these actions? I'm here today to warn you that this is just a beginning of the dismantling of the American dream. And all that we have done. I heard the lyrics in a song once, and you probably know this song. It said, "Hello America, how are you?" If you was to answer that question to America today, America would say, "I'm not doing so well." Because I have a few Republicans who leave the door of compromise open. I have a few Democrats who's taken the ceilings off of spending, and I got a heap load of liberal termites eating away at the foundation. No, I'm not doing so well today. But America would say, you know, I have put a call into the Tea Parties of America.
Yeah.
And they have promised me that they would take up the cause to fight for limited government, physical restraint, personal responsibility, and accountability to ensure the preservation of freedom.
Yeah.
Government accountable for its actions.